Journey of the Magi, part 16. So in relation to a white horse or a pale horse, we've also got Revelation 6.8, and I looked and behold a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and Hell / Hades followed with him. Interestingly, Death does have associations with mute, water and mother. So his name that sat on him was Mute, and Hell, Hades followed with him. That's presumably his mother. D.H. Lawrence, very short poem. The youth walks up to the white horse to put its halter on, and the horse looks at him in silence. Where I was thinking halter could also be alter, as in old. So the young man turns old. And I was thinking of horse connections with Athena. She was known as the mare, probably nightmare as well, and the Trojan horse. On the Wikipedia page, it tells me that Stefan George, who was a poet from Germany, wrote a poem called The Horseman. I could not find it, but he seemed like an interesting fella, as all poets are. At 19, he started a literary journal called Rosen and Distel, Roses and Thistles. He spent some time in England. He joined forces with Karl August Klein in Berlin and worked on the journal Blatter für die Kunst. That's not the same Klein as Johann, who wrote the first Baedeker book, but I couldn't find any information about either of them. I think Blatter means leaves, so leaves for art, leaves of art. And it says there on their website, this magazine published by the publisher has a closed circle of readers invited by the members, so it's kind of quite secretive. Then it went on to say the magazine became a literary mouthpiece of the Munich Cosmic Circle around 1900. One of their main points of reference was the work of Swiss mythologist Johann Jakob Bachmann on early matriarchies, Das Mutterrecht. I didn't go down that wormhole. I think I've covered enough of ideas on the matriarchy with references to different goddesses, etc. So among the greats in their eyes were Goethe and Nietzsche. His last book was Das Neue Reich, The New Realm, which actually got banned after the Second World War by the Allies because it was seen to support like Nazi ideology. But in fact, and fact is a loose word here, it seems quite the opposite. He'd actually published a poem in 1907 called Der Wiederchrist, the Antichrist, describing the arrival in Germany of a figure like Hitler. So he has associations with like mysticism. And later somebody who tries to kill Hitler, I can't remember if they were friends, but definitely cites him and refers to the poem. Then we came to a tavern with vine leaves over the lintel. I didn't really get much for this, so it connects this idea of a vineyard again, in which there was no room. And vine leaves also Dionysus, Cyrus type links. 6 hands had an open door dicing for pieces of silver. So we've mentioned silver in the Eltz family. So the book mentions Abbot Forad's will and the 6th cell upon the river Neckar and some other relics, but it doesn't say what the 6th cell is. I might just be being dumb.